Hi everyone, this is Abrar. Welcome to Abrar Knowledge channel. Today's topic is very important topic and very newest topic. The topic is 7MP. It is also called 7M. 7M is stand for the 7 new management and planning tools. It is coming from the topic for total quality control and also is being used for a statistical process control, and it is also in Six Sigma. This topic is quite familiar and very useful also as well. So it is also used for quality as well as in Six Sigma. So this is my in quality, this is my lesson number 8, and in the playlist you will find like quality and useful tools in Abra Knowledge channel. And the content which will cover up is visual management, 7QC. Now we will talk about 7PM general tool and also ASQ related exams and all that tips and the quiz and all that you will find it. So please stay tuned till the end. You will get the amazing information. So this is the agenda we will be going through. The agenda is we'll be talking about 7MP tool. Each and every tool we will be deep diving it. Number 2 is 7MP versus 7QC. When people always get confused, most people get confused with 7QC tool with the 7MP tool. We are going to give the comparison also in this video, and followed by 4 quiz. Is coming from you from the ASQ questions, and this is very intriguing and very interesting question. So this also will be useful for you as part of this content. So this is the source is coming from Wikipedia. A big thanks to Wikipedia for making this content very elaborate and nicely organized. So part one. So basically there are three parts. First, as I said, the part one which will dwell on 7MP tool, which all these tool we will be talking about it, and then the comparison and then the quiz. So 7MP, how I remember is tip map. So the first one is a tree diagram. The second one is interrelationship diagram. Interrelationship diagram. The third one is prioritization, and the fifth one is matrix diagram. And then I remember that how affinity diagram, and then activity diagram. The last one, process decision program chart. So if you remember the word tip map, it will be very useful. The first, let me quickly read it out one more time. T stand for tree diagram. I stand for interrelationship diagram. Relating to prioritization matrix. M relating to matrix diagram. It's also called quality table. Yeah. So one A refers to affinity diagram, another A refers to activity diagram, and then the last one is process decision program chart. Let's talk about the first tool called affinity diagram. This is also called KJ method. The method I was going to use is KJ method. Affinity diagram are a special kind of diagram. Where it is used in brainstorming. So brainstorming, whether is tool, I mean brainstorming, you know that when you collect the information from the different party, like different people, it can be multi different team or cross function team and all that is called brainstorming. So what does it help? So affinity diagram is closely related to a term called brainstorming, that the organize large amount of disorganized data and information into grouping. You'll do grouping. For example, let's say you figure out the issue for the cost. There was a customer complaint. You figure out the issues and then you wanted to nicely group it and then present it to management and present it to whole team. Then the affinity diagram is very useful. And what it happens actually, like large amount of disorganized data information into grouping, so all cluster into nice package. You can present it based on the actual natural relationship. It was created in 1960s by the Japanese one. It is also called KJ diagram also as well, right? Affinity diagram is used when you are confronted with so many multiple factor or ideas in apparent chaos. So when you have so much ideas, so much things you wanted to club all together, then we can use it. In brainstorming, in my previous video also we talked about brainstorming. You can use round robin, you can use unround robin, you can use the paper method and all that. But this is the holistic view is you can collect all the disorganized ideas and datas and all that, put them into grouping and then present it. So that is what the usage is. All the confronted ideas you will take, whether the you will not debate whether is a probable cause and improbable cause. You will collect all these causes, all these ideas, all these innovative solutions, everything, and then you will put it into affinity diagram. So if you look at here, there is a the diagram clearly says, let's say you have some ideas, let's say this is theme one, 4 6 ideas, you have 4 ideas, you have a large idea, you have like this. You can have this one and then put this all these idea into grouping. Like basically affinity diagram is all about grouping. And the two word you need to remember, first word is brainstorming, next word is grouping. Okay, the interrelationship diagram is displays all the interrelated cause and effect. So cause and effect is, you all know, straightforward. Like you will put it like 6M: man, machine, method, material, measurement, mother nature, or how the issues are contributing to these things. For example, you have a back pain, right? So back pain, why? Because what is the association with man, machine, method, material, and you will put them into 6M, right? So this is also the same one, little deeper. So it is also like interrelation displays all interrelated cause and effect. And sometime what will happen, so if you look at the cause and effect, it is one. For example, man, you will put down all the issues related to man, all the issue to related to machine, method, material, and all that. But this one is you will interact, you will just do an element of mapping factor involved in a complex problem and describe desired outcome. The process of creating interrelationship diagram helped a group organize the natural links between different aspects of different of a complex solutions. If you have all this one, the only difference between the fishbone diagram or cause and effect diagram versus interrelationship diagram, both are same. The only thing is among 6M, we are going to interrelate each other, interconnect each other. For example, from machine, let's say, there was, the check was not done by man, right? And then actually in the system, there was no mechanism in the manual check, whether the check should be done and all that. So in this case, interrelationship, you're going to map both the things so that you will see the end-to-end route actually, though the root is coming from man, and you can also relate to system also as well. Tree diagram is mainly used for the folder structuring. If you wanted to have a parent folder, subfolder, little bit of even subfolder and all that. This tool used to break down broad categories into finer, thinner level of detail. If you wanted to have a thinner level of detail, the best diagram is tree diagram. From it is also called funnel approach. You have a big ideas, you wanted to cluster down to smaller one, smaller, further smaller, further thinner, then this can be used. So this tool is used to break down broad categories into finer categories or finer level of detail. It can help map the level of details of tasks that are required to accomplish a goal or solution or task. Developing tree diagram directs the concentration from the generalist to specific. So you have all general ideas that into a very very specific, right? Then the next one is you have a prioritization matrix. Prioritization matrix is very very wonderful one. You'll write down in the rows and columns, right? This tool is used to prioritize item and describe in terms of weightage criteria. Let's say you will do a multiply and we'll see how it is done. It uses combination of a tree and matrix diagram. So you have a tree, right, from the parent to child, the relationship you will accomplish. Matrix diagramming technique to do a pair wise evaluation of item and to narrow down options to the most desired and most effective. Popular application of prioritization matrix include return on investment, ROI, you can do a prioritization. Let's say you have four solution, you wanted to see which ROI gives better and which you wanted to follow, and cost benefit and all, and investment versus return, time management metric, urgency, importance, all these prioritization metrics can be used. Matrix diagram is also called quality table. So this tool shows the relationship between two or more set of element. If you have, then this can be used. At each intersections, a relationship is either present or absent. It gives the information about the relationship and such as the strength, the role played by the various individual or measurement. The matrix diagram enables you to analyze relatively complex solutions by exposing interactions dependence between things. You have a one depend on another things and all that. Six differently shaped metrics are possible, like L, T, Y, X, C, R, and group shaped, depending upon how many group must be compared. You can just do that matrix comparison. And then you have a process decision program chart. It is a useful way of the same thing how you do it. Let's take an example of this one. Tree diagram, what it does, you have a parent one, and then you do a subgrouping and then subgrouping and all that, like parent folder, subfolder, and subgrouping. Let's say you have a interaction, the bigger theme, and then the small interrelationship, and then you go a little bit of deeper and deeper, like this. The same thing, if you have multiple things, then this can be used process decision. So when you say process, you all know that in a collection of activities, you have a collection of activities, then you can use process decision program chart. Useful way of planning is to break down the task into hierarchy ways. So who will do what, right? If you wanted to implement a project, that project involves all different teams, then process decision program will be helpful. You can narrow down, you can just separate the design part separately, quality part separately, manufacturing part separately, and so on, using a tree diagram. So tree diagram is specific to one, so all these combine in this one. Process decision program chart is also called PDPC. Extend the tree diagram, it is just extension version of tree diagram. Couple of levels to identify risk and countermeasures for the bottom level task. Different shape boxes are used. So typically how you have in the MS Visio, how you have a different box for a storage like this, a decision like this you have. All these can be used. So the PDC is similar to failure mode effect analysis, both identify risk and consequence of failure. Contingency plan in the FMA also rate the relatively level of each potential failure. So it is little deeper. So remember, the process decision program mapping, it is closely associated with tree diagram. Only difference is that is only one singular, this is plural. That's it. Activity diagram. Activity diagram is this tool is used to plan the appropriate sequence or schedule for a set of tasks. How many tasks can be done in parallel, how many tasks can be done in sequential, and so on. It is used when subtasks must occur in parallel. Okay, the diagram helps in determining the critical path. So critical path, you all know that how the critical path, this is one diagram of critical path. What is the longest sequence of tasks, like what is, for in this one, the longest sequence of the task is 50 days. In the 50 days, all these actions are taking place. The purpose is to help the people sequentially define, organize, manage, and complex set of activities. So a little bit of this term that is called program or project evaluation review technique, this is called PERT, is a statistical tool used in project management, which was designed to analyze and represent the tasks involved in completing the task given project. So I hope all these 7 tools are very useful to you. Let's go to a comparison. In this comparison, I picked up both the versions. I picked up one is called 7MP, 7 Management Programming Tool. Another one is 7QC, 7 Quality Control Tools. So let's compare. So the first, so if you look at all these 7MP, you will see that you have a data, you have an idea, you have a project. All these you're trying to, concrete down, right? So this one 7QC is all about result. You have to verify the result and then take the decision. Both are different, right? Both are completely different. But some of the concept can be used here. For example, let's say you have affinity diagram or interrelationship. You may probably use cause and effect diagram and so on and so forth, right? So, but both are slightly dependent, but both are completely two different streams as such. Let's talk about quickly in this video. I'm going to talk about quickly the one word of affinity diagram. Affinity diagram, how it is, you have a lot of grouping of ideas and all that. That one you wanted to have a brainstorming, and then you wanted to club all these into a smaller thing. The affinity diagram, you can also remember brainstorming. Interrelationship diagram, the same thing. You will just fishbone diagram, you will magnify it, you will do interactions you will take the fishbone diagram or cause and effect diagram. I'll do the mappings. You do the extension version. I quote an example of let's say the operator has not checked the quality check, right? And then there was no system in place to check the quality check. So this two, and then you will do a comparison, interrelate relationship diagram. Tree is very useful, whether it's a folder, whether you wanted to do from one activity, one functions, one vertical to functions and process and so on, or anything like funnel approach, like bottom to top to bottom, you can use tree diagram. Prioritization is basically a matrix, like you can have rows and columns. You can do what to be done first, like must to do, urgent and all that. Matrix diagram is also like the priorities one. The only thing is it gives, like in terms of how our FME is there, like this it gives more on the matrix side. Process decision program chart, this is also an extension version to tree diagram. And activity diagram is just activity, like what is the longest time, how many activity can be done in parallel, how many done can be in series and so on. This is all about 7 new 7MP tool. This is also called 7 new 7M or 7MP. Let's talk about a quick. I have already covered 7QC in my previous video. You can take a look. I will drop the link on the top of the window. You can take a look, and this is just to give you a gist of everything. Check sheet, you have the Roman letter, you have a check sheet where you can just check how many been tested and all that. Pareto 80-20-20 principle and cause and effect diagram, you can drill down the cause into 6M. Graphs typically used, like bar graph, stack graph and all that. Histogram, like you can say bell curve chart, and scatter diagram is also very useful. Like you have two variables, like both x and y are you have a continuous data variables, then you can use a scatter and then see whether they are independent each other. Stratification, if you have more than one group, then you can do stratification also as well. And the last and final part is quiz. Yeah, so the first one, this is the diagram. Yeah, so you have four possible and questions or options. One is called QFD, quality function deployment, activity network diagram, interrelationship diagram, or affinity diagram. If you're getting the answer, please comment it. So the answer is A. This is QFD, not from the QFT is quality function deployment. This is quality function deployment is not part of 7MP tool. Let's talk about the next one. By the way, these questions are coming from ASQ for you. And this is the very simple questions. Let's say you have this interaction, like moderate key and all that. So you need to see like what is this one, moderate. So in this case, so if you have this one, actually like 2 and 2. If you want to, I think I missed out 2 and 2. 2 and 2 is moderate. So this is moderate one. The risk level is moderate. Third one. Yeah, after a team has engaged in diversions activities, they may need to employ a tool for conversation. Example of such tool are nominal group technique, multi-voting, cause and effect, an activity diagram, and matrix diagram. What we are going to use? So think about it. If you're getting the answer, you can also write it down or comment it. So the answer is D, 1 and 4. Nominal group technique and 1 and 2. The second is multi-voting. Fourth one, a team's goal is to improve the information flow in payroll function. They make the 33 posts, it notes, and each listing an issue for further investigation. After some discussion, they group them into four categories: mandated record keeping, privacy concerns, insurance, and transfer concerns. So there is four issues. They group them into four things, and this grouping process is best described by which approach to problem solving? Answer is affinity diagrams. You have a lot of ideas, you wanted to group them into one, then affinity diagram is very, very powerful. And thank you so much, and I just wanted to have a small appeal or kind request. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you had a great time trying to solve these four ASQ questions. If you enjoyed this video on 7MP, the new one, the new tool of 7MP, then I would ask you for a small favor. The small favor is, would you be kind enough to give a thumbs up and leave a comment with one or two words is fine. It will be greatly appreciated. Hopefully you had a much fun watching this video as much as I had preparing this for it. I see you next time. Till then, take very good care of yourself. Please do like, share, subscribe my channel. Have a nice day ahead.